Great. Welcome, Randeep. First of all, thank you so much for partnering with Arial, with the Akshara Center, and endorsing Dads Share the Load, okay? Be the change, be proud to be the change, okay? And share the load in everything that you do. Now, the Indian household context, you want to share with us perhaps your own experience within the Indian household about what it meant for dads to share the load.
I think the world's turning into an equal playground where gender biases have to disappear because women are doing men's jobs and men are doing women's jobs, so-called traditional things. Women are going out there and working, and they're equally contributing to the income of the house in a lot of cases. And a lot of kids, including myself, I mean, where I grew up as well, all the household chores were not meant for my dad, they were meant for my mother. And that's the bias we all grew up with. And that is something which, we talk about equality outside the house, in the workplace, in all walks of life. But when we go back home, there is lack of inequality there. There is still, the dad is doing the dad's job and mom's doing mom's jobs. And all the kids, the boys and the girls, grow up thinking that it is my mom's job to do washing or do other household chores. And but that's not what we want our next generation to be, because those are really old ideas, those are traditional ideas, and we are moving into a whole new space, a whole new world. So I think it's very good to have this, share the load by dad, so that the young kids who are growing up now have a good example to follow. It's not just the boys who are getting it, it's also the girls who are further going on, like in the ad, who are going on and doing the work outside the house and doing the household work, while the man is just, thinks it's his domain to just chill.
Great. In fact, isn't it very commendable, in fact, Doctor, that you actually acknowledge the fact that and saying that it's important for dads to share the load.
Absolutely.
And set an example for the future dads who are within the house.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because if that doesn't happen, we are not producing children who, what we are campaigning for, what we are fighting for, the equality in the world, getting rid of the gender bias. If we don't do it at home, I don't think we will be producing, and kids are the future. So if we are not doing it at home, charity begins at home. So if you want to change the world, I think you should change what's going on in your house first. And I think that will produce intelligent and equilibrium-friendly next generation. That's very important.
Great. I also mentioned that someday you'd make a great dad. Yeah, in jest.
I don't know, man. I'm still looking for a mom.
But what is it that you would do if you'd become a dad to kind of make that impact on your child and get them to understand that dads need to share the load? Or what is it, the message that you would give to the dads of today and the dads of tomorrow right now?
See, a lot of my friends are married. And the households that I find are happier are the ones where, there is an equal sharing, that whole thing about man sitting with his legs on the table, on the couch, watching television while the mom's dealing with the kids. After she comes back from home, she's cooking, she's washing, she's doing everything. Those households are not very happy, and those couples are not friends with me in the same way. I think the happier couples of all my friends that I've met are where dads are contributing, and it's also, there is a whole thing, everything is changing. The dads have to be present even while delivery, It never used to be the case. Now, especially in Western countries, and especially in India also, now dads are present. I say, Kya hua? My wife's having a child, or I'm having a child, and I have to be there. So jokingly you ask them why. He says, no, yaar, you have to be there.
Share the load over there as well.
Share the load.
We're getting paternity leave also.
Getting paternity leave also. So all those things are happening. So I think the world's changing anyway. I think the love between couples and their understanding and their friendship now, both usually when both people are working, I think that's where there's a lot of more participation by men in raising children, if not the household chores, by spending time with them, which wasn't the case earlier. Like my dad was very busy working, so we used to hang out with my mom, or they put us in a hostel and stuff like that. But that's not the case anymore. So I think it's already changing, and I think it's happening for the good. I think we'll have a better generation where men will not look at women only in a certain way. They will learn to respect them in a lot more ways than just one.
Fantastic. And what do you have to say about this wonderful campaign that Arial has launched, which is Dads Share the Load? They've come across and partnered with the Akshara Center. What do you have to say about Arial and the fact that Arial makes it easier to do laundry and share the load?
Well, that's absolutely, it's a great campaign. I think it's a campaign which is not only in the reaching out the product to people, but also reaching out a message to people, which is very important. And the way it is shaping up and the kind of campaign, and it's been going on in many countries, it's just not India, because it's an international brand. And I think this is a problem that's in every country. And I think this initiative will lead not only to a better generation next, but also the mindset which it's communicating to people.
Fantastic. The idea that dads need to share the load. So dads share the load. And this couple has done it in many ways than one. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, gives me great pride and privilege.
Before you introduce
Yes.
them, I just want to tell them I'm a big fan of hers.
You're a big fan of hers.
Me too.
Yeah, you should actually be a big fan of him. Yeah,
And,
Both
and
of
him,
them.
and him.
I'm a big fan of both of them.
I'm sure he's the wind beneath her wings in a lot of ways. She couldn't have gone and done all that she has achieved without her partner's help. And I'm very, very big fan of them and proud that they are part of